Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to go over my Gamma 1 and 2, the Gamma Boys, my deck profile that I'm going to be playing at this upcoming tournament. This is a build that I've been having a lot of success with. I love the Gamma leaders. It essentially is like a Super Saiyan. Let me just kind of change the camera here. There you go. Essentially, it is like an SS3 Goku, but with androids. And I'm all for that. My first ever tournament win came from my SS3 Goku, the original SS3 Goku back in the day. So I am very excited to play something like it. But anyway, going over the leader here, essentially it is, I cannot have any, I'll just read it off here. I cannot use non-Red Ribbon Army cards, skills, to place cards into my energy. So you can't use like the Zeno Unison, any other type of card that put energy into your, cards into your energy. When it attacks, it draws one, and if my life is a 4 or less, or I have a blue Unison with a specified cost of 2 in play, I can flip him over, draw one card, untap an energy, and then take cards from my life until I have 6 left. On the back side, I actually got the pre-release version. Shout out to my buddy Matt, who was nice enough to give me it in exchange for 4 packs of cards. Still, you cannot use cards to put cards into your energy unless they're red ribbon cards. When a card is played from my energy, I place the top card in my deck into my energy in rest mode. Since this deck relies on a lot of cards being played from the energy, it's good to have that ability to restock my energy. Sometimes it works out in my favor, sometimes it doesn't, but luckily there's cards in the deck to help with that. But the biggest thing is the end of the turn. If you have to have 3 energy to do this. At the end of your turn, you take up to 3 blue androids back from your energy into your hand. You draw 1, and then you place 3 android cards into your energy in active mode. So essentially, you untap 3. It's really fun. I've been a blue player since the game began, and I've just been trying to make blue the best color it can possibly be, and this is probably one of the better blue leaders in the game right now. Sadly, Soul Striker is no more. RIP, my favorite leader, but anyway, let's go over the deck here. First, I play 3 copies of Android 17 Rebellious Will, and 3 copies of Android 18 Rebellious Will. Essentially, they are the same card in that they can both be played from the energy. For 1 blue, usually I just tap themselves to play it, and then my leader will replenish that energy. But then, if by some means you accidentally get, like, say, a black card into your energy, or a non-android card that you don't want into your energy, their ability allows you to look at the top 5 cards, pick an android among them, and put it into your energy, and then take 1 card from your energy, put it at the bottom of your deck, and then shuffle. So it allows you to work with your energy and make sure there's no cards in there that you don't want. 17's got barrier, 18's got crit. Honestly, the barrier has been working out a lot better. I might tweak the numbers around and go 4 17s and 2 18s, but I kind of like the symmetry of 3 and 3. But sadly, you can't play them until you awaken your leader, because if you do play them for 1, you don't replenish that energy. So definitely don't want that to happen. Next up, we have 4 copies of Android 14 and 15, the Revengers. Essentially, you never play this card. It is literally a once per turn. You discard it, look at the top 5, grab a blue Red Ribbon Army card with a cost of 5 or less, or the Android 17 and 18 Unison, and put it into your hand. It's just a searcher. It's, in my opinion, it's way better than playing the Android 13 card. I was running it for a little while, but I like being able to pitch this card to essentially draw something, so it replenishes itself. Because you need to find your Unison, that is very important. Next up is the negate stuff. I run 4 copies of Android 14 Inorganic Horror. Essentially, it is blue Android, or blue Gamma's Floodgate. You cannot use this in any other blue card, which is blue deck, which is unfortunate because I think it's great. It's great until it gets counterplayed, which does unfortunately suck, and that is a problem with this card. But Essentially, you play it, you discard a card, and your opponent cannot attack for the turn unless they discard 2 cards on hand. So it's your floodgate. When it lands, it's great. When it doesn't, it hurts real bad because you have to discard regardless. But luckily, these kind of help. I run 4 copies of the Android 18, Let the Battle Begin. They are essentially this deck's version of the 1-drop counterplay. It costs 1 when you have a blue leader, and I'm sorry. Is it blue? Sorry, if your leader is an Android card or a heroine, and you have a blue Unison in play. Sorry, Unison in play with a cost of 2 or more. So this doesn't go active really until you have the Unison, but in a perfect world, this can go active on turn 2. It essentially is a 1-drop counterplay, plus it's a 15k blocker, so you can use it for defense or you can use it for offense. But I really like it. It's kind of funny that an evolution booster card from a couple sets ago is relevant in this deck. Next, we have some of the big boys here. I have 4 copies of Cell, the Ultimate Bio Android. Originally, I was running 3, but then I decided... Well, first I was running 2. But then I realized I wasn't seeing it enough, so I started running at 3, and then a couple of games, I just wasn't seeing it in general, so I decided to say screw it and get 4. So this card is amazing. You always play it from energy. There's no other reason not to play it from energy. Essentially, it has dual attack and deflect. You pay 1 blue, 1 green, and 2 colorless, or any colored energy. Play it from the drop, and then obviously you restock your energy. When this card is played, it bounces everything on your opponent's side of the field, not ignoring barrier, and send it to the bottom of their deck. And when this card attacks once per turn, if they play a counterattack, they have to bottom deck another card from hand. So that's a whole lot of pressure, especially since you untap 3 cards at the end of your turn, at least. There's just no reason to run this. It's awesome, especially with the Unison, making it a bit stronger. But continuing on, 4 copies of Android 1718 Limitless Energy. This card is cracked. It is a deflect dual attack 20k. When it is played, it bounces 1 card on your opponent's side of the field that costs greater than their current energy. And it literally costs 2. 1 blue, 1 green. You can play it from your energy. So you could play this on turn 2 if you wanted from your energy. But once again, it's just, you will have to sacrifice that energy to do so. But it's such a good card. Plus the fact that it's a green-blue energy that can be played in active mode right away because its energy exhaust is negated if your leader is a blue red ribbon army card. So that's awesome. It's great for bouncing stuff back that shouldn't be on the board that early, as long as it doesn't have barrier. Going on that blue and green hype train, we got 3 copies of Android 16 Steadfast Comeback. I love this card. Originally, I wasn't a huge fan of it when it first came out. I thought it was way too costly, but I was stupid and realized 1 blue, 1 green Arrival, dual attack, blocker, revenge. And when the card is played, you can either have your opponent drop 1 card from hand or play 1 blue Android card with a cost of 1 from my deck in the drop area. Which, that's stupid. You would never do that. So this card literally... You play it with the super combo in this deck, which is a blue-green card. You Arrival it. It works really, really well. In that instance, actually, let me go... Here we go. The super combo I run in this deck with it is I run 3 copies of Android 18 Bionic Blitz and 1 copy of Android 1718 Team Up Attack. Essentially, this card, when you play it, your opponent bottom decks a card from their hand. It goes live automatically. And then from that, I play Android 16, which then makes them drop a card. So essentially, in 1 turn, you're making them drop 2 cards, which you definitely want to have. You want to make sure your opponent does not have as many resources as you do, because this deck can sometimes run out fairly easy if you don't play right. I run 1 copy of the Team Up Attack just because, 1, it's the SPR from the new set. I like it, but it also allows me to untap a blue-green energy as long as it is my opponent's turn when I play this. Is that right? Yep. Exactly. So just in case I need to get 1 extra energy, I thought about running just the 4 Android 18s, but I'd like having that option to maybe untap something need be Maybe if I just have one energy open and I need to play this, I'll use that instead, untap an energy, then play 16, so I get that extra bump. Ah. And speaking of unisons, I run 4 copies of the Android 1718 teaming up. I love this unison. And then I run 2 copies of Boo Unison. It's blue. You know, at first I wasn't running the Boo Unison because I was like, that doesn't work with Androids. Like, that doesn't fit the theme. But no, it does. It's really good, especially when people go after your Unison because of how good it is. You need to have a backup. And Boo is a great backup for later play. Essentially, 1718. You play this card. The very first attack of each turn, whether it's your opponent or my opponent's turn or my turn, I add a marker to it, and then I can combo with a 5 cost for my drop area. So my very first attack, I play it for 2, immediately swing, get a 5k boost from a card in my drop area, and it gets an extra counter. It's awesome. And then -4 gives this card dual attack and 10k power for the turn, so it becomes a 25k dual attack. It's just applying pressure, and that's this whole deck's attitude. And of course, Boo Unison, -0 to draw 1 and untap a card at the end of turn. So with this and your leader's ability, you're untapping 4 cards a turn. So this is great when untapping any card in your area, any card in your energy that's not an android. You can untap with this. Plus, it's a blocker double strike, and you can bounce something back to your opponent's board, back to their hand. Well, I'm sorry, not hand. The bottom of their deck. Don't listen to me. I'm crazy. Extra cards I run in this deck. I run 3 copies of Beerus Destroys. It's a great 1-drop just to bounce something 2 costs or less to the bottom of their deck, plus give it 10k and draw 1 on during my opponent's turn. My turn, it's okay. It's just I choose one of my opponent's cards with an energy cost greater than their energy and place it at the bottom of the deck. I use it much more defensively. I run 3 copies of Senzu Bean because just that extra defense, putting it on my dual attackers gives them that extra 5k for the turn. Plus untapping energy just is awesome. It's blue. 3 copies of Dimension Magic because you got to have that defense. I think 4 is unneeded in this deck. This deck's already kind of bigger than I'd like. That's about 52, 53 cards. And then finally 2 copies of Chilled's Army Reinforcements. It's a great card just to add more defense and stop your opponent from attacking those heavy big swings. It saved my ass a couple times. You have to run 2 at least. It's just, if you run anything less than 2, you're crazy. You're taking a huge chance. And finally, the last 2 big cards of the deck, obviously, we are running the Hatchiyak, Baby Hatchiyak Secret Rare. I just recently got my own. I love it. I cannot believe I tried playing blue without it. I just couldn't afford it at the time, but I recently got into some big money, and I was like, screw it, I'm buying this from my buddy. So shout out to my buddy Derek, who was nice enough to sell me his spare copy. Just shuts down the entire turn. This has saved me countless times playing my brother and his cooler deck and his just overly aggressive decks. It literally just shuts down the turn. Now, the only problem with it I have is that it can be cooler. The 3-drop cooler counter in yellow can affect it. I think it is the dumbest thing how that card can affect a Secret Rare, but, you know, just be on the lookout if you're playing yellow. And finally, you gotta have an Overwhelm, and I'm really happy to bring this back out. Is Scientist Fu. He is an early promo. He's promo number 36. That means he was in the first 2, maybe 3 sets. And I love this card. It's essentially just a 1-cost 25k double strike with the ability to draw 2 cards. Helps you get some extra resources and hopefully lean into that final attack. But yeah, that is my Gamma deck profile. I've used it to beat Trunksgeta, the new green cooler. I haven't had a lot of other specific matchups. I think it also beat GT Crew at one point. But yeah, this is what I'm running this weekend in the locals in Minnesota that I'm going to visit my brother who lives up there, and I'm hoping to take some wins. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. What am I thinking? Sideboard. I'm a dingus. Sideboard. I'm not really good at making sideboards. I don't know. Part of me kind of hates the idea of sideboards, but at the same time, I understand it's the game, and you gotta play the game. Alright guys, a little bit of an edit here. So, turns out I cannot have super combos in my sideboard if I already run a full playset of them in the main deck. So, that was new to me. I've never had it come up in conversation. So, I was like, well, crap. Good thing I now know before I go to this tournament this weekend. And so I'm just going to go over the sideboard. I redid it after doing some more thinking. I might even still tweak it, but for now I want to get this updated. So the cards that are still in the sideboard. Android 17. I have never been able to get this card to work right for me. It just never seemed to. Every time I've played it, it just doesn't do what I want it to do, which is help me win the game. I still run it though, just in case. You know, practice makes perfect. So hopefully I'll be able to get that. And then 2 copies of the Android 18 Never-Ending Energy for those matchups where they're playing hand control, play it, draw 2 cards. It's awesome, it's worth it. Dirty Burst for those U7 matchups. And just big swingers like the Cell, U7 Goku, just a lot of big hitters. Good to have that extra defense and stop them in their tracks. 2 copies of Intoxicated by Justice for those Silver Bullet matchups, because blue Silver Bullets are terrible. Android 21, A Bad Omen, essentially to... for those long games that I feel like I can get it off and at least be able to damage them for 1 energy by crit. Kale, because for those long games as well, play it, board wipe everything for 7, and then get dual attack, double strike, barrier. So, awesome. Now the new stuff I put into the sideboard. Go Tanks, the Awakened Unison, sorry, Absolute Unison. Essentially, this would be my replacement for the Boo Unison. It's a great board wipe for barrier, -3. Choose 2 of my opponent's battle cards with barrier and put them at the bottom of their deck. It's also a dual attack blocker, 20k, so good stuff, because barrier is a pain in the ass. 1 copy of Absolute Release Ball, because you just need counterplays are becoming such a big part of this game again. And this one can be free played if need be, because I would have a dual color card in my energy, but I have to take a life to do it, which is fine. 2 copies of Borgos for those blue matchups, because, you know, like I said, blue Silver Bolts are a pain in the ass, and this one literally prevents them from doing that. So if I go against the mirror match, they can't untap anything. It's awesome. And finally, 1 Kotsukai, because in those moments where I want to go all in and I'm worried about them putting some floodgates down or just doing something to prevent me from going all in, this is a great choice. I'm really excited to give this a shot in locals. I really like the leader, and the deck's been working out really well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see, hit that like button. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and why not subscribe. Thank you guys so much once again for checking out the video. I'll talk to you later.